This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for USVI News. I'm Haley Potter. A Virgin Islands student is set to make his televised network debut on May 3rd. Caden Hughes is a student at Antilles School on St. Thomas and has landed a guest starring role on the hit show Bull right here on CBS. Caden says he's very grateful for this opportunity, his family and the VI community's support. He wants more kids in the territory to go after their Hollywood dreams and believes they can do it too. Here's some advice from him.
Perseverance. Never give up, to be honest, because there have been times where I felt like maybe I should, but I stuck at it and it led me here. Success doesn't come easy. I feel like a lot of people say that you have to work for it and you have to keep working for it and strive to what you want to be. And also, don't let other people tell you what you should be. I was told that maybe I shouldn't be an actor, or maybe I shouldn't do this, or maybe I shouldn't do that. And I think that if you have a love for something, if you have a passion for it, just go out and do it.
A big congrats to Caden. And while the feds investigate operations at St. Croix's Limetree Bay oil refinery, Limetree executives meet with Governor Albert Bryan recently to discuss moving forward. In St. Croix, Governor Bryan met with Limetree's new CEO and management of Limetree Bay. He listened as their team talked about the status of refinery operations and information on a recent gas flare at the refinery. During the meeting this week, Governor Bryan expressed his concerns about a recent gas flaring event and stressed the importance of transparency. Newly named Chief Executive Officer of Limetree Bay, Jeff Rinker, talked about the company's progress of refinery operations. He also addressed concerns raised about the recent gas flare events at the refinery. Although the meeting was planned, it came after last week's gas flaring event, prompting the closure of several schools in the vicinity of the refinery and triggered complaints from residents living in the surrounding areas. Bryan said he learned it was a sulfur dioxide, and an in-depth investigation of the cause of this incident is underway. Governor Bryan said it was an informative meeting and his administration will focus on working with Limetree to ensure the safety of the St. Croix community. As we've reported earlier this month, the Biden administration opened an investigation into operations at the oil refinery following an oil spill back in March and ongoing pollution concerns. Limetree Bay is one of the world's biggest oil processing facilities. It ceased refining in 2012 but started processing again back in February. And now to some news from St. Croix. Police are investigating after a man was found dead in the Camp Rico area. Calls came in just before 5 p.m. Thursday for a deceased male in the Campo Rico area. Police arrived on the scene to find a male victim with gunshot wounds. It was confirmed he had no sign of life. The victim had been identified as 23-year-old Cicero Camarno Cadiz Jr. The incident is under investigation, and detectives are asking residents if you know anything to contact police at 911. The crime tip line at 840-778-4950 or Crime Stoppers USVI at 800-222-TIPS. And also new, the VIPD is warning the community to guard against scam calls with callers claiming to be the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority. WAPA management says scammers are using a computerized system using the authority's main telephone number to call residents and demand money and threaten to discontinue services. The authority says they don't even use automated calling systems, and if you receive a phone call like this one, you should disregard and hang up. For more information about this scam, contact the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority or the VIPD. New canine officers will be joining the Virgin Islands Police Force soon, thanks to a big donation. Southland Gaming donates $43,000 to the VIPD to purchase dogs to be used as canine officers. The money will be used to buy and train 3 dogs, which will be added to the VIPD's canine unit. Southland Gaming CEO says as a former law enforcement officer, he knows how important it is for the video lottery operations company to put resources back into the VI community, particularly in the support of law enforcement. The police commissioner says the donation will allow the department to increase its canine capacity in the St. Thomas, St. John district and will enhance VIPD's crime-fighting mission across the territory. The canines will hit the streets once they're trained and ready to go. The Virgin Islands Waste Management Authority is looking to hire for several key positions. You can apply for jobs including Chief Engineer, Chief Financial Officer, Chief Legal Officer, Staff Engineer, and Environmental Health and Safety Officer. The deadline to apply is Friday, May 28th. You can do so online at viwma.org, where you'll also find more information about the positions and how to apply. Now the latest on COVID-19 cases here in the territory. The latest numbers from the VI Department of Health show there are currently 45 active cases throughout the VI. There are 16 in St. Croix, 27 in St. Thomas, and 2 in St. John. President Joe Biden has just passed his 100th day in office. Locally, Virgin Islands Congresswoman Stacy Plaskett has experienced a historic last 100 days herself. Our Washington correspondent Matt Knadler takes a closer look at Plaskett's rise to fame.
What do you make of everything that the history you personally have made in multiple ways over the last couple of
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming.
1 month into the new term, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi named Virgin Islands Congresswoman Stacy Plaskett one of the 9 impeachment managers tasked with prosecuting the impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump.
He praised and encouraged
Plaskett became the first member of Congress from a U.S. territory to serve as a manager in any impeachment trial. That exposure, she says, put the Virgin Islands on the map.
People are constantly now inquiring about the status of the Virgin Islands and why are we not a state? Why are we not treated more fairly?
At the same time, Plaskett was making history in the legislature. Pelosi assigned the fourth-term Democrat to the powerful Ways and Means Committee, which oversees tax policy. Plaskett is the first person from the territories and just the 4th black woman to serve on the committee.
The Virgin Islands government is now finally going to be reimbursed for the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit that they give. That was in the American Rescue Plan, which gives the Virgin Islands annually about $40 million a year going forward indefinitely.
The sudden rise of the Virgin Islands delegate appears to show an increasingly growing and trusting relationship with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
We have a really respectful relationship. I'm someone who's really trying to get the work done. And I think that she finds that much more endearing than those who want to always stand next to her or try and garner favors with her.
Moving forward, Plaskett hopes to influence policy for the Virgin Islands in her new committee role.
You know, I walk around with these little sheets of paper that talk about bills that I have and handing them to other members and asking them to co-sponsor.
In Washington, Matt Knadler, USVI News, the Virgin Islands Connection.
Thank you, Matt. And here is a fun fact. Did you know 40% of the U.S. food supply is wasted every year? That's almost 212 pounds per person. So food experts from around the globe are using this week to bring awareness to food waste. Here's some food for thought. Americans toss nearly a third of the groceries they buy, costing an average household about $1,600 a year.
See something new on the shelf, I want to try it, I'll get home, end up not liking it, and then I'll end up just throwing it away.
The amount of food Americans waste has tripled over the past 50 years.
I don't know, I have big eyes when I go on the market, right. And it's even worse if I'm hungry.
Yes.
So definitely a couple of bags get wasted for us.
People believe that stopping food waste begins at home, and it really begins at the grocery store. It's all about making the list, menu planning, and buying the proper portion sizes.
Compass Group USA introduced Stop Food Waste Day in 2017. Celebrated on the last Wednesday of Earth Month, they hope to raise awareness of the food waste issue.
And being the global food service leader, the responsibility that we could help lead this major initiative for awareness on just the amount of food that is lost on a day-to-day basis.
Spoiled food, real or perceived, is one of the biggest reasons people throw things out. Rehydrating can save some of them from the landfill.
So these guys were looking a little bit sad, and we soaked them in ice water for about 10 minutes, and they perked right up. Really works well with lettuces and root vegetables as well.
Experts say before going to the store, see what items in your fridge can be used to make a meal, saving time, money, and the planet. For more information on Stop the Food Waste Day, how you and your family can help, visit stopfoodwasteday.com.